Hey guys, and welcome back to another suspicious link. Today, we are going to be looking at a link called vom.today. I got sent this in my comments, so thank you guys for sending me all these new links. Really appreciate it. Any link that you do send me that's not one that I've covered, I will look into it for you. So let's just get fired straight into it. So as normal, fired up my virtual machine running Kali Linux. Reason why I do it through Kali Linux is should any of these links contain a virus, other than web-based viruses, it's unlikely that the virus is going to target a Linux-based operating system. It's more likely going to target Windows or Mac, being the more common operating systems, especially Windows. Windows being the absolute most common, so viruses typically will target a particular operating system because they need to leverage off a known vulnerability. You do get the typical Trojan where you have to accept it and then execute it, but vom.today. Let's have a look. Dirty Tinder. Same thing. View page source. Exactly the same setup. Even the questions look to be the exact same. No nested scripts that I can see. Dirty Tinder, yep. Unsubscribe. Funny enough, I thought Tinder already was dirty. But now there's like a dirty version of it. Well, dirty version of it. Alright. Well, are you over 18 years old? Let's see if it filters that out. Nope. So there is no filtering of this. Oh yeah, that's right. No. Let's say yes. Cool. So that there, like all the others, raises immediate red flags. If you say you're under the age of 18, you promise not to keep any of their promises, and have you ever had an STD, and you select yes, and they're like, oh, congratulations, you can go through, you're a winner. Definitely major red flags. So, but the aim of this is to entice you to click through. I'll be a woman today. And I'm looking for a woman. Why not? What is your age? Well, you can't go anything lower, actually. Inspect element. Damn. Oh well. Yeah, why not? So here is where it's asking you to create a password, but for some reason you've not got any username to input. So this is probably a spot where it wants you to create it, and even though it says HTTPS, so that the traffic is encrypted between your computer and their server, once it reaches their server, it's decrypted. You're sharing a key. So you've got an encrypted tunnel between you and a malicious server. That's, you know, it does give that sense of protection, or that feel of security when you're clicking through it, when you're going, oh, okay, so it's not just a HTTP, it's not just completely opened up. But they'll decrypt it on their end, and they'll have access to all the information that you're pumping into this website. So you'll type in a password. Let's just put some gobbledygook in there. Oh, fine. Now enter your email address. So this is the idea, I believe, behind this would be to grab a password that is going to be used against your email address. There are two functions to potentially this. One is to create an account with Dirty Tinder if it's a legitimate website, or even another legitimate website that's maybe just lingering in the background. So it could just be for traffic redirection. The other part is that they're grabbing your information once you've typed it in. So commonly, a lot of people will use the same passwords, or just with some small variants. If that is you, be honest to yourself. Don't put it in the comments, obviously. But if you do struggle with creating multiple passwords that are completely different from one another, I'd highly recommend the use of a password manager. That'll just allow you to have the most random passwords that aren't going to be easily brute forced, so that you don't have to think about the difficulties of remembering all these passwords. I can speak for myself that my passwords are completely made up. No two are the same or even close, but I don't use a password manager, and I do often forget my password. But with two-factor authentication and a good recovery setup, if I forget my password and I can no longer access it, pretty much I believe that not very many other people are going to access it. If you are a little bit worried though, and you do want to have a look at your email address, the website Have I Been Pwned? I typed that incorrectly. Have I been pwned? In this website here, you can enter your email address, and you click pwned, and it'll come out with, has it been breached? So I've got an old email address that I no longer use. Hopefully it's still active. Ah, yeah, there we go. So it's been pwned, this one. It was associated with Ebony, which is a very old game. MySpace, yeah, that's how old this email address is. And Zynga Poker. So these databases were breached in some way or another, due to potentially lack of funding. The developers or hosts are no longer putting funding towards keeping these databases secure and protected, so they get breached. So it says what sort of data was compromised: email address, IP addresses, passwords, usernames, etc., etc., etc. So it tells you what it is that has been breached. So once you've gotten this sort of information, what you would do is have a bit of a think as to what sort of a passwords you used for each of these. And then you would just go through and change your passwords. And like I said, something quite complex. So the use of a password manager, I would highly, highly recommend. But the Dirty Tinder link, I wouldn't be too concerned about it if you do accidentally click on it. It doesn't seem to have anything malicious waiting for you. I would just exit. If you are worried, I have made a video on how to clear your device. You can check that out. And it's just as simple as clearing your browsing history, clearing temporary files, and then running a virus scan. Steps beyond that would be change all of your passwords. So if you put the email address in, every single account linked with that email address, which could be either tens, you'd have to change the password for all of them. So that's where a password manager would definitely help you out by just, you go in, you change password, the password manager will come up and say, hey, do you want me to take care of this? You'll hit yes, and it'll come up with something completely randomized and be saved. within the password manager. And all you have to do is remember one very complex password for the password manager. The password manager remembers all your other passwords. Yeah, sorry. So yes, that's the link. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until the next episode, guys, peace.